You might be smarter, your family might come from privilege, your daddy might own the company, but you will not outwork me. This top spot is number one. That's mine, because not one of you can outwill me. You may have been born with more genetic prowess than I have, but you cannot out-determine me. You cannot outbuild me. You cannot out-want me. You can't out-desire me. The bigger your dream is, the harder the grind. You might have small beginnings, you might not have a lot of money. You might not have a lot of resources, but there's no excuse. And I need you to understand that the bigger your dream is, the earlier you're gonna have to get up, the longer you're gonna have to stay up, the more effort you're gonna have to put in. You know how hard I worked to get here? I put in too many hours, I sweat too much blood, too much tear. I'm working hard to get here. Nobody gave me this. I didn't grow up with wealth. Nobody thanked me. I worked for this. Sweat, blood, tears. I earn every dime I get. I work for this. You will not outwork me because your height has nothing to do with my work ethic. Your face has nothing to do with my workout. You will not outwork me. You've got to kill what's going to separate you from everybody else. I do things to separate myself from everybody, the passion that I have, the grind that I have. When I do what I do, I got a different motor. I got a different drive. I'm always going to give you my 110%. That's the only thing I can ever say, a solid day's work. If you guys do not do that, I promise you, your life will haunt you for the rest of your days. From today on, you play whatever your best game is. You play that level every single time. It doesn't mean you're going to score every time, but you can always give 120% effort. You can't dictate what kind of game you're going to have. You can't dictate how your body is going to respond to moving around, but you can dictate your effort. Your dream is alive. It's inside you. How do you know? You feel it. You dream about it. You eat and sleep it every day. So please just push. Don't quit. Push and win. Success, you have a chance, is to control your destiny. All of us are created equal. Some of us just work harder. Some of us just grind. Some of us don't make excuses. Some of us don't give up and give in. What we do with the pressure is we say, I gotta take it. I gotta take it to another level. Many of you have lost your competitive edge. Get your competitive edge back. Act like you're playing basketball. Act like you're playing football. Go in that doggone classroom and compete. Do not give 70%. You're giving 60%. You're giving 50%. And you want with these people who've given sweat, who've given blood, who've given tears. You want what they paid for, and it ain't free. They might be bigger than me. They might be faster than me. They might be stronger than me, but you will not outwork me. You'll get a breakthrough when you fight. That's the hardest part because the breakthrough, that last 10%, is all mental toughness. It's time to unwrap the potential you need. It's within you, and the people that have risen to that level were no different than any one of us. It's that they believed it, and they're willing to work their clean ass off to get it. It wasn't about the potential. It wasn't about genetics. It was about the perseverance, and it was about being the hardest placer worker in the world. While you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping, and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack, and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else, and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you'll realize that you have nothing left to talk a smack about. And you will lose, and I will win. What if the truth is that changing your life is one away? One decision, one meeting, one conversation, one extra phone call, one extra rep in the gym. You start stacking up those one mores. That's the separator in life. We don't get our goals, we get our standards. You meet somebody who doesn't have self-confidence. This is someone who's perpetually not keeping promises they make to themselves. You meet somebody with pretty good baseline confidence. You've met somebody who now keeps the promises they make to themselves. You meet somebody doing superhuman things. They keep the promises they make to themselves, and they do one more. There's a power to one more. When you start stacking up those one mores, not only have you put more contacts out into the universe, but you start believing, I'm doing something most people aren't willing to do. I'm fixing to get something most people aren't going to get. I don't have that natural beauty or that natural talent or this gift for creativity or intellect or humor. I don't have any of those things, but what I got is I will outwork you. When it's 45 on the treadmill, I do 46. When it's supposed to be 20 phone calls, I make 21. When it's supposed to be an 8-hour workday, I work 9. Whatever it is, I always do one more. And what that does is it makes me eventually think I'm doing things other people aren't willing to do. So I should get things other people aren't going to get. Understand, it's not about what you were born with. It's not about what you were given, where you started, or even where you're going. It is entirely about what you plant at the center of your soul. How hard you're willing to go after something, how much focus you're willing to put in your life, and how often you come back to that level of intensity for who you want to be. You have to make a decision that nobody in your position will outwork you. Some people run faster, swim better, but mentality is a mentality. You're not gonna outwork me, so I'm gonna catch up somewhere. If you're not that talented, you can beat them with time. You can get to the spot before they get to the spot. Get your butt up and get there. Every day is a new day. Every moment is a new moment. So now you gotta go out and show them that I'm a different creature now, because I'm pissed off for greatness. Because if you're not pissed off for greatness, that means you're okay with being mediocre. Ain't no man in here okay with being just basic. And I dare you to exhaust yourself. I dare you to leave every single thing on the field. One season, everything walk off exhausted. Wins and losses come a dime a dozen, but effort, nobody can judge effort because effort is between you and you. People ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. I want you to know when you dream your dream that there are other people who are dreaming the exact same dream. When you said to yourself, this is what I want to accomplish, you're not the only person that wants to accomplish it. And now I ask you this question. What do you do when 1,000 other people want exactly what you want? What do you do when you're not the only one that wants to make $1 million of your accomplishment? You're not the only one that wants to be a CEO. What if you're not the only one that wants what you want? What if there are thousands of other people who want what you want? You have to outwork them. You got to get up earlier. You got to stay up later. You got to execute. And you've got to go from 70% to 120%. How many of you can honestly look yourself in the mirror and say, I am doing my best? Because if you can, you're lying to yourself. Your job right now and how you execute that job is going to create the success habits that you're going to need down the road. How you do one thing is how you do everything. If it's making fries, if you ain't making the best fries every time, guess what? You ain't gonna make it. If you can't sweep the warehouse floor better than the next guy, you ain't gonna make it. Because here's the truth. Losers always talk about how they hate to lose, but they don't do anything about it. But you know what winners do? Winners will do whatever the darn it takes. Winners will show up and stay late every not a day until they're winning. Winners will talk to anybody that can help them and take the lessons to heart and put them in play. Losers talk about hating to lose. Losers say they hate to lose. Losers talk about how they want to win. Winners do what it takes, and that means beating the next guy. If you aren't going to work at your job every day and looking at all the other dashi and thinking, dude, I'm going to beat the den out of all of you, you don't have what it takes. Winners want to be the best. Winners have pride in being the best. Winners have pride in being dominant among their teammates. And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be the best. There is nothing wrong with wanting to dominate. There is nothing wrong with wanting to be on top. Winners do what it takes. Losers talk about it. So when I say you can't do anything by yourself, I mean you have to put yourself in the right environment to win. Surround yourself with the best people you can and get to doctor work. Don't quit, don't give in. You are an example right now of not quitting. You are an example of not giving up, not giving in. You are an example of grit. Outwork your competition. If you outwork your opponent, if you chip away at that rock, you may not hit it 1,000 times and nothing's happening. You're not doing anything, but if you know it's hard, but keep hammering and keep hammering and keep hammering, eventually that rock is going to split, and you'll know it wasn't that day you split it. It was all those days you hammered it that split it. It will break. If you just keep going, you're going to break through. The only people that don't break through are the people who crack under pressure or let the fear overcome them. Separate yourself from the pack. Separate yourself. Work hard, be smart, and be obsessed. Be consumed with whatever you're trying to do. If you're a startup, you're trying to be the next Mark Zuckerberg. If you're an app designer, you're trying to be the next Snapchat, the next Instagram. Whatever you're trying to do in your life, be obsessed with it. And let me tell you something. If you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me. Just go about your business. If you want to be great, if you want to be the best ever, if you want to be at the top of your career, you need to be obsessed with mastering your craft. You need to be obsessed with being the best. The best in your business, the best in your company. If you're competing with people in your industry, you need to be obsessed with being the best. And not just being the best, but being better than the competition. You have to make the competition scared of you. You got to make them go to bed every night knowing that tomorrow they're going to meet a better you. If you want to dominate the competition, you gotta be obsessed with it. And let me tell you something else. It's about being the hardest worker in the room. And it's not just about the hours you put in, it's about the effort you put in, the dedication you have. It's about the hours when nobody's watching. It's about the hours when it's just you and your thoughts. It's about those moments when you're pushing yourself to the limit and then pushing yourself even further. You have to be willing to put in those extra hours, to make those extra calls, to send those extra emails, to go that extra mile. And you have to do it consistently. Every single day. You have to be relentless. You have to be unyielding in your pursuit of greatness. And you have to do it all with a level of passion and intensity that is unmatched. Because that's what it takes to be the best. That's what it takes to achieve greatness. And if you're not willing to do that, then you don't deserve to be at the top. So I challenge you. I challenge you to outwork me. I challenge you to outlast me. I challenge you to give more effort, more dedication, and more heart than I do. Because if you do, you'll find that there's nothing you can't achieve. You'll find that the top is where you belong. And you'll find that the only thing standing between you and your dreams is the work you're willing to put in. So get to work, and don't stop until you've reached the top.